What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles.com, and we have a 1998 Kawasaki Ninja ex500R. You don't see too many 500s. You see a lot of 250s, and the 250. Well, we'll talk about the 250, but I've never ridden a 500R. Let's take it further. Let's look at it. It's clean. The bike's really clean. It's actually a one-owner bike. I sold it to a guy. He wanted a cruiser bike. Real nice guy. He's actually the guy was actually a brewmaster, I think. I never met a brewmaster, but look at that. I started this bike, cold start. It only has 2,500 miles on it. Cold start. Didn't even give it a. Didn't even have to choke it. That's a very well-tuned carburetor. I'm pretty excited to see how this thing runs, just see what kind of power it pulls. I've ridden a lot of the 250s, and they're fun-ish, you know what I mean? But they don't have very much. I'd say this is actually more comparable to a to one of the newer 250, or the newer 300s. The little 300 sport bikes. This is definitely a you know, this is an entry level sport bike. It's not crazy twitchy. You're not gonna like end up in a tree or anything like that. You can actually get on it through a couple of the gears. You could redline a couple of the gears, like all the gears, and still be within the speed limit. Unlike the Hayabusa, that you redline one gear and you've exceeded the speed limit by like 50 miles an hour. You really can't, unless you're just beating up this bike, which, you know, don't do it. You really can't wheelie these things. They just don't have the power. Don't even try. But this bike, I mean, it runs good, bangs to the gears, no problem, feels really nice. And this thing is incredibly clean, never been down. Tires look brand new. And it actually, you know, it cruises at the higher speeds a little bit better than the 250s do. It's just not struggling as much. This is the same bike as the 250s. Everything about it. It's not, the bike itself is not any bigger. It's the exact same bike. It's just a different displacement. I'm sure most of the engine parts are interchangeable. And this bike, they made this bike from like, I don't know, 86 to like 2007. The exact same thing. They may have changed like little minor things and color schemes and stuff like that. But for the 250, it was pretty much the same bike. Hey, you know, I guess they're... Although that's something that that's different than the 250. This thing really opens up at like 7,000 RPMs like that. I'm not gonna say it pulls hard, but it actually it pulls a whole lot harder than what I thought it would. It definitely, it's not fast. Don't confuse me with fast. But you know, if this is your first bike, this is gonna feel like a rocket. This is gonna feel like crazy nuts. Man, these brakes are nice. Like they feel great. They're bled perfectly. They feel exactly the way they should. I'm actually pretty impressed with this little 500. Great entry-level sport bike. For all those guys that don't want to take my advice and for their first bike, buy an old Honda 80 something. This is definitely a great thing to get into. It's light, it's nimble, you can hit the corners with it. But yeah, it's interesting. When you hit like 7,000 RPMs, you know what I mean? It feels like that's where it's got all the power. Guys, I ship bikes all over the country. You guys who watch the channel, you know that. You know that. Come on, you know that. This is a pretty comfortable riding position. This is not that bad. I could see myself riding this for a test drive. Much better than a 250. Way better than a 250. Holy cows, way better than a 250. And I'm selling this for the price of a 250, if not cheaper than a 250. It's a great bike. I'm just looking to get rid of it. I traded it in. I'm trying to get rid of bikes, and people want to trade in stuff, so I'm like, all right, fine, I'll take your bike. And I'm trying to get rid of it quick because I'm running out of space, guys. All right, guys, that's it for the Ninja 500. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, give it a big old subscribe. And remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going. All right, guys.